Check this out. I be trying to tell y'all. Look,
So it's good. Okay.
check it out.
It's the earth right here. Right? Okay.
Alright.
It's us, right?
Hey,
Make it
listen
smaller.
to him though. Go ahead, cuz.
Make it smaller. Why is Antarctica that big, cuz? Look at the whole fucking world. What's down here? Antarctica.
Right.
Why is Antarctica that big, cuz? Tell me that.
Why can't you even
Matter
go
of fact,
past it?
let's go back. It's where we stay at. We stay in Florida, right here. Let's zoom out. Okay. Why is that much smoke? Why is that much snow down here, cuz?
That's crazy. And that's being a world map. This just shows
World
past
map.
that.
And that's right.
Why can't you even go past
And that's
that?
right, cuz.
You can't even go past Antarctica, can you?
And that's right. Look, you can see the tides, the current shit. What the fuck?
Man,
Nah.
that's crazy. Trying to tell y'all.
I promise you will never look at the moon the same again after watching this video. Could the moon actually be a mirrored image of our whole Earth? Looks familiar, right? I don't believe in coincidence. Could this be the land that Admiral Richard E. Byrd claimed to see when he said he saw land past Antarctica as we know it? This is the oldest working astronomical clock in the world, displayed in Prague, and it's based off a geocentric understanding of the universe, not heliocentric. Now, prepare to have your mind blown.
I'm from outer space, I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gone, I've been far away, I'm illuminated, now I make a move, start the waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a coastline. Artificially intelligent AI. I'm your future, past and present, I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a missing link of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just flow. I don't need gravity, I need room. When I move, it's in a quick rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho. When I
Thanks for watching. Remember to like, follow, and comment down below for more content like this.
Of course, I was not giving them cow's milk and giving my children who were 2 and 1 at the time, I was not giving them red meat or eggs or anything like that, and they just could not believe it. And in fact, they actually kicked me out of the pediatrician office, which did me a favor, and I had to go find my own pediatrician. Before they kicked me out, they were like, and you're pregnant now, don't you know at 9 months you have to start introducing your baby to red meat? Exactly, 9 months. I said 9 months? 9 months, y'all want me to start giving my baby beef? She was like, yes, you need to give them pureed beef. I wasn't even doing that, you know, not being vegan. I wasn't giving them any meat until they were at least 1 or 2. But I just couldn't believe that this is what a lot of mothers are being told. This is why a lot of children grow up with a lot of overproduction of mucus, again, which isn't bad, but because there's so much toxic waste in the body produces all of this mucus. So I started to put 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, we are starting to become sick. The sickness is manifesting from the time you are a fetus. So it's almost inevitable for you to develop fibroid cysts and all these.
Breaking news, guys, breaking news. September 6, 2023, the time right now is 2:48 p.m. Eastern Time, New York time. Okay, guys, the breaking news is the Doomsday airplane is heading over the Gulf of Mexico right now, as you see. This is the first time I am seeing this airplane actually leave land. So I believe something is happening because certain airplanes are acting really strange is what I'm noticing. I've been on this app every day, so I know for a fact something is on the step right now for US. So I'm just letting you guys know that the Doomsday airplane is heading towards the Gulf of Mexico. So here's the video.
They talking about how the entire grid is finna shut down. And they're trying to blame it on the heat though. But I'm telling y'all, the grid gonna shut down because the planet is rising in frequency. That's why I've been telling y'all for the longest. Those been following me know we gonna come a day when ain't gonna be no lights on in your house, ain't gonna be no internet, no nothing. The whole electrical grid that these oppressors set up is going to crash because the whole system has to come down. You can't think the system gonna crash and we gonna still have the internet. That's a part of the system. Once the electrical grid gets shut down, they ain't got their Hollywood no more. They only control us through the media, and they only control us through blue light technology and nanobio-technology, which is like cold lockdown. So the planet rising in frequency, and we gonna hit the heart chakra, they bitch ass, which is that energy field that they using to run our. See, look, this is what they using to run out this is what they using to send all the spells out throughout the whole country to every major city. They using this mass energy system. All right, and they got pipelines that's connected to every city. It's just like on They Live, but this is the actual spot though. This is the shit that runs what we call the grid: your cell phones, your TVs, your everything, your traffic lights, like everything dealing with electricity. Okay, so if this shit gets shut down, it's over with. All your cell towers, all that is over with. And guess what? Now they can no longer keep track of you. Remember, they got devices in everybody's house been listening to your ass for years because they scared of our rise. They got devices all in your toasters, nigga, right now. Cameras in your phone. They can hear you when your phone off, all that shit. Y'all better know that. So that's why this grid had to get shut down. And this bitch finna go down. So once this bitch get hit, it's a wrap. Now they ain't gonna be able to keep tabs on nobody. Now they really gonna be scared. You feel me? And that's how the ancestors wanted, because you know they still got certain technology where they can kind of see shit. You ain't able to see shit. Shit is over with.
Look at that. 147 alien genes. Look at this. Humans contain alien genes not passed from our ancestors, researchers have discovered. Who is humans? Who is humans? Who is humans? Who is human? Now look at this. Look at this. Talking about the O negative blood type, huh? Which is an extraterrestrial blood type. Look at this, huh? Africans, huh? Unknown human DNA species. I put this out years ago. This shit just came out this year, February 14, 2020. Scientists find ghost lineage of DNA in the African. See? Now let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. Okay, I'm not going to go into details on the article. Let me explain something to you. If they never found no anthropological bones, they never found no leftovers or no bodies, huh? Where did these motherfuckers go? If black women have an entire human species in their DNA that accounts for an entire civilization or race of people, and nobody never seen these motherfuckers, we must ask ourselves, did they even die? Where did they go? Is they under the water? Is they outer space? Where did they go? See, now you might say, Pharaoh, what is a metagene? See, now what you're looking at is the template for our amino acids. Now, amino acids are like Legos, and you can construct Legos differently to create different pieces. And so why is this important? We have 64 amino acids. You only got 20 to 22 active. And so when you watch the movie X-Men, you're an X-Man and you become a mutant. One of your genes mutate and activate and give you psychic abilities. The fucking CIA already admitted psychic abilities are real. So I don't think I need to argue that with y'all. Okay? They already admitted this shit is real. Now, why is this important? All of these other genes that you see on this chart are not even yet unlocked or available to you. So this is why black people are being organ harvested. This is why black people are having our placenta stole. This is why Planned Parenthood, which was set up by the Ku Klux Klan, yes it was, okay, is stealing our fetuses and using our tissues for their own scientific evil experimental endeavors. So the red box that you see is the only amount of your proteins in your DNA that you use in this lifetime. So you don't know what the fuck you capable of, black man and black woman, because you have not yet reached your full human potential. But how you gonna reach your full human potential eating this fucking processed food, living underneath this poisoned ass air? Why you think they poison the air, poison the water, poison your motherfucking mind, so that you do not unlock your meta genes? Go research meta genes. Meta genes, meta means beyond. Okay, excuse me, I spelled the damn word wrong. Let me fix it. Meta means beyond. Okay, so a meta gene is a gene beyond normal expression. Okay, black people have genes that take us beyond normal human level of existence. Huh? So if you think these niggas that's running this basketball up a court, these niggas that's throwing this football up a field, if you think those is some genetically advanced niggas, them niggas ain't even tapped into one of these motherfucking amino acids, let alone all of them. Huh? They call them mythomolecules. See, your DNA actually is coiled up and it unravels via exposure to light. Huh? This is why they got a roof on every goddamn thing. Your house, your car, it takes 8 minutes for you to get fresh sunlight. You're not even outside for 8. I already broke this down in the other video. I'm not going through this again. See? So you will not reach your full human potential living underneath a motherfucker that can't even live in the sun. Our DNA is unlocked by the sun. These people are killed by the sun. So how can they give you a blueprint for you to reach your full motherfucking potential, and the thing that unlocks your greatness destroys them? Look at this. Look at this. Because they're going to say I'm capping. You see this? You see this? Why is this important? You think these people made up stories about motherfucking Transylvania and Dracula and them suffering from the sun on accident? No. This is these people's lives every day. They come outside and they burning.
I be telling people all the time, man, they following my pages, they watch me, they got me under surveillance. And then, you know, I don't mind that though, because I know what my enemies are. You know, I know the game, I know what my enemies is, I know what I'm up against. But my biggest problem, it be when the same people I stand for and fight for, when they fight against me, they want to come argue, they want to come defend these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers will blow your fucking head off. They will kill me, my brother. They will kill your grandmama. They don't give a fuck about us. So when there's somebody that got balls to stand up against them, y'all supposed to support them at all costs. You don't gotta agree with everything I say, but the support and love gotta be real, because these motherfuckers at war with us. If they'll do that all because I made posts and spoke against Trump, then what you think they'll do, you know what I mean, when it's some real shit? But I ain't no bitch. That's what they gonna learn. I ain't the one. On for nothing. On for death, on for nothing.
Today makes 7 years since the untimely demise of local community advocate / civil rights leader. On September 6, 2016, Darren Seals was found shot and burnt to death in his new model Jeep Wrangler. Here are a few things about this case that don't sit well with us. Number 1, the investigation was poorly conducted. Evidence from the scene was still there, including burnt pieces of his car and the GPS module of the vehicle. Instead of authorities properly securing the crime scene, family and friends were able to walk through the crime scene, jeopardizing the integrity of the investigation. Number 2, it took the fire department hours to put out the fire. For such a small vehicle, although they had multiple fire departments there, the vehicle continued to burn, as if it had some type of chemical agent on it. Allegedly, the vehicle had napalm on it. That's why it was difficult to distinguish the fire. Number 3, witnesses' account were never followed up on. Multiple witnesses stated that they seen 2 men, black and white, getting out of Darren vehicle before setting it on fire. Being local, we've heard several different stories, that it was in a house hit because Darren would never let certain people get close. 2 months before he was killed on July 8th, a meeting was held at the Forest Park Pavilion, where his opening statement was, "I don't have much time left. I know they're going to kill me soon, but I'm not afraid of death." He went on to mention that he was being watched by the FBI, and the truth is he was being watched. He was constantly being pulled over and harassed by every municipal city police force in St. Louis. He went on to mention that he was ready to switch the narrative from fighting police brutality to buying back the block. Days before he was murdered, he always claimed he had confidential paperwork on the Black Lives Matter movement, how they were receiving millions of dollars on behalf of the local activist and community. He knew, and so did people living in that community, that the funds received were misappropriated. He was opposing Black Lives Matter as they hijacked the Ferguson movement and made millions. Before he could release the information on Black Lives Matter, he was found deceased. Years may have gone by, but we're still asking what happened to Darren Seals.
But yeah, Black Lives Matter, Campaign Zero, all these motherfuckers, man, they making millions of dollars. I ain't talking about no little chump change. I ain't talking about no petty money. If it was petty shit, I still call them out, but it wouldn't be a big deal. Like, these motherfuckers is eating. Cars, houses. You know what I mean? They driving around in nice vehicles. All off the fact Mike Brown died. And it's the long-term effects of it. If they willing to keep selling our kids out every time they die for a little money, what's gonna stop these white folks, these cops? You know, what's gonna stop these people from killing these babies?
You know you in your ego because you feel like you entitled and you the only motherfucker right. You the only motherfucker right, but you don't got no facts. Everybody with the facts is just making that shit up. They just making it up to tell you some bullshit. Like a motherfucker got time and interest enough to go fabricate a conspiracy theory. Why in the fuck would I don't got time. I don't have the interest. My give a fuck meter barely even move. So why the fuck would I go make some shit up to tell you to mislead you? I don't want no motherfucking congregation of followers. Shit, if that's the case, I'd have opened a goddamn church and been rich. I ain't into that shit. I'm into motherfuckers living their best life with their feet up, taking trips around the world, but you got to earn your keep. That's all. Everybody need equal opportunities. But these stupid motherfuckers keep doing the same dumb shit. This shit over with. Okay, look. It's a fat lady standing on the rug in the grocery store with a whole bunch of shit, and we know she gonna fall, but everybody waiting on her to fall. Guess what? I snatched a rug from under that fat bitch. Now she on the ground, all her groceries in the air, and y'all wondering how she fell. Babylon is done. It's over with. The rug snatched from under the fat lady. That bitch singing because she's falling. Oh, Lord, help me, please. I'm falling down the stairs. Help me, Lord. Let me catch the balance or something. It's over. Done with. And you ain't got to take none of this shit serious. Because I don't take half of the motherfuckers that's listening serious because they won't. Look, if you know what the fuck going on, you should be glad to inform somebody that you give a fuck about. But you know what you do? You keep it to yourself. You know why you keep it to yourself? Because you're scared of being ridiculed. Fear. You're scared of your own motherfucking people getting the truth. So you cover it up. You know it, but you keep that shit a secret. You ain't no better than the goddamn oppressor, because that's how he kept you oppressed. He kept all that shit secret. But he kept it secret in plain sight. And the shit that he wouldn't put in plain sight, we sent soldiers in there to get that shit. Fuck these motherfuckers. It's over with. Babylon failed in your face. The government of oppression, subjugation, slavery, and motherfucking law of man is passe. It is no longer in force. Right now you are seeing the cleanup issued by galactic order, superior to the reigns of the earth, because it covers more ground and you get to draw allies from places that motherfuckers don't even know exist. You get to have motherfuckers come down here and aid in the struggle. And you don't even know they're there until you wake up. The shit over with. Babylon failed. In your face. End game, goddamn right. They've been checkmated. They lost the galactic pool game, the galactic chess game, the galactic card game. Poker, bitch. I got all the chips. I kicked in all the goddamn doors that they let us peek in and wouldn't let us go in and take part in no discussions. Fuck it. Pac told you he was gonna kick the doors off the hinges. Motherfuckers sitting out here watching y'all throw food around and having parties and we out here starving. That shit ain't cool. It's over with. Babylon fell in your face. I can't say it enough. Babylon the great is now Babylon the late. The harlot has been exposed. The dragon drug out. The great Leviathan. The Kraken has been turned to stone. All this shit over with. The papal authority has been restored to the righteous owners. Only thing we got to do is wake up so y'all can see it in the 3D. They got to move so slow so they don't shock your motherfucking ass and make you give up the ghost. Because you a goddamn coward. I mean, like, we can get into this shit on any level. But the wisest way to fight the enemy is to fight the spiritual fight. Because if you win it in the spiritual, that shit gonna manifest. It ain't gonna manifest exactly when you want it, but it's gonna happen. If it happened already spiritually, I told y'all months ago, I already went from dimension 9 to 4. Now we just got to clean up 3. Months ago. And I told y'all stop sending y'all kids to school so they clean this shit up. No, y'all were serious. Y'all wouldn't stop sending y'all kids to school, so what the fuck shit? They did it for you. Motherfuckers can't hold your hand for all eternity. If you gonna be God in God form, use God force. Wake the fuck up. This shit over. Babylon fell in your face. Now everybody tell a friend to tell 2 friends not to panic. Don't go taking your ass in the way of this pedophile cleanup. Because anybody that's fucking babies getting fucked over. Period. No exception. Anybody fucking babies getting fucked over. That's just the way it is. All of the rapists is about to get raped publicly. Not sexually raped. Iconically raped. They finna get raped to all they motherfucking secrecy. Exposed. See, rape mean to be violated. They finna be violated. They got a violation coming. Put them in the circle. Give them a 360 workout so the people can see this shit. So they can stop acting like idiots and wake the fuck up. Babylon fell. In your face. All the books balanced. Now y'all got to get out the way so they clean this shit up. Don't be a victim trying to protect the victimizer. Throw your Stockholm Syndrome in the garbage. The motherfucker you alliance with is the motherfucker that got the same foot on their neck. They don't always look the same, talk the same, or represent the same clique, but they all got the same struggle. They fucking over all of us the same. Stop letting that divide and conquer shit keep you separated and slowing the process down. It's time for unity, coming together, tying shit together, making alliances, making commitments and dedications. That's the time. It's time for that shit. It's time for you to start mapping your life out. While you got this downtime, get you a book of life and write in that motherfucker your future. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to do this to make a living. It's going to be a new era without this motherfucker that's been had his foot on our neck. But get out they goddamn way. Eisenhower told you. JFK told you. So it ain't one side of the fence the motherfucker's telling you. John Lennon told you. Imagine that motherfucker. John Lennon, a fucking beetle. A dung beetle. Ask Paul. He know. Because they was Tavistock plants used to practice mind control on your dumb ass, and they found out what they was being used for, and John didn't like it. Paul ran. So, wake the fuck up. Everybody telling you the same narrative from a different angle. And their narrative point to one thing and one thing only. Babylon fell. Ain't no more Babylon. The devil has been annihilated. He been ran the fuck up out of here. What Jigga tell you? Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm going to chase you out of here. That's not what he was talking about. because y'all don't even know who the fuck Lucifer is. The Lucifer effect is the effect of waking up. They have to villainize that shit so you don't want no parts of it. To be enlightened means to be aware. If you didn't know something yesterday and you found out today, you've just been enlightened to the fact of that thing. Fear not. None of this shit can't hurt you. But you gotta wake the fuck up and pay attention to your surroundings. Spatial awareness is what it's called. If you're not spatially aware, you're gonna keep falling in the same trap. This shit over with. Flush Babylon down the toilet. Let's build utopia. They say it can't happen because we don't have the psychological makeup willing to accept everybody living their best life. But see, for some people, their best life is to have a good job, take care of their kids so that their kids can have a better life than they had. It's called progressive struggle. Protracted struggle. See, people don't want to be aware of that. Protracted struggle means a long, drawn-out process. Now, Farrakhan told y'all in his final call speeches that the punishment of God was a long, drawn-out process of punishment and release.
Pay attention. You can quit building the wall. Listen to what he about to say.
It's paid to build the wall. Did you hear about that? You know why?
Why is that?
Okay, so whoever's over here, they're going to try to go back.
They're going to try to come back to Mexico.
To Mexico. Getting ready for a collapse.
A collapse?
On the dollar. So they thinking that a lot of people's going to start
trying to go back?
Yeah, so now...
This coming from the wall.
Hold everybody back.
Coming from Mexico. So basically what he just told us was that they're paying them so Americans can't leave when it collapses. That's very interesting. And the dollar is collapsing. That was one of those things that make you scratch your head and make you say, Because the wall is used for two things. For keeping people out and keeping people in. Let me know what y'all think about the entertainment wall in the comments. Leave a like, follow me for more wisdom, and stay tuned.
So this video you're about to see is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing I'm saying is true. It is simply a conspiracy theory. A conspiracy theory that is backed by absolutely no facts whatsoever. Because, of course, we live in a world where facts are fiction. Right? So, like I said, the things I'm about to say are hyperbole. The things that I'm about to say are satire. And do not represent the truth in any way, shape, or form. So I've been really paying attention to this Burning Man story today. It's all over TikTok and the news. So for y'all that don't know, they do a Burning Man festival every year. It's pretty much like a big hippie event or whatever. It's actually pretty cool. I actually thought about going before, but really not my scene this time in my life. But strangely enough, there was this historical flood that came in and wiped out the whole festival. Like, people were trying to escape. There were reports of people dying, and FEMA actually came in. Now, you know, as soon as FEMA comes in, it's some bullshit. So that was another red flag when I saw that FEMA had actually come in and were keeping people contained at this festival. People were trying to escape, all kind of crazy stuff was going on. Anyway, so there was these reports that there was possible Ebola going around at this festival. Reports of people vomiting and hemorrhaging, coagulated blood, coughing up, just all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Anyhow, a few months ago, a source told me that they were going to introduce we're going to call them they from now on. I think we know who they are. So they were going to introduce this virus called Marburg, M-A-R-B-U-R-G. This was told to me months ago. Now follow me on this. And I have to be very careful with my words. I'm like this close to being like banned. So so they were saying that Marburg was going to be introduced into our country. Now here we have almost 80,000 people at this festival. This torrential downpour comes in out of nowhere. I'm going to actually play a video for you where it happened in Woodstock in 1969. And it was very interesting in this video that they were interviewing this guy and he was talking about they were seeding the clouds. This was in 1969. And they even knew then that cloud seeding was something that was very real. Here we are in 2023 and people still don't understand and know what that is. But basically cloud seeding is when they manipulate the weather and cause it to rain. They can make tornadoes, hurricanes, in this case, a torrential downpour of historical proportions over the Burning Man. So, torrential downpour, everyone's freaking out. FEMA comes in, locks everybody in, and now people are vomiting and hemorrhaging. Like I said months ago, I was told about this Marburg virus. So of course, people are being infected, possibly, and 80,000 people are going to go back to their home cities with a possible very, very bad virus. Look it up, M-A-R-B-U-R-G. I keep thinking about this lockdown they keep talking about in mid-September. How the government has been preparing for the other thing. But what if, like Bill Gates said, that next time what's coming will get our attention? What if all these orders for all these different masks and other things going on is not for that other thing, but it's for this Marburg virus? Now, mind you, this is a very deadly and a heinous virus. I mean, people are literally hemorrhaging blood. It causes you to hemorrhage. Another thing that a source gave me a few months ago is that they were ordering this type of medicine that prevents you from hemorrhaging. I hate to be a conspiracy theorist. Y'all know I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Oh, not me. But a lot of things are starting to turn into conspiracy truths. I don't know. I'm keeping a close watch on this Burning Man story because something's not right. They keep talking about lockdowns coming next month. Well, let's just be honest. No one's going to comply to that other thing. But what about if it's something way worse? What if it's something like Marburg that I was told months ago would be hitting us in the United States? Keep a close eye on this, people. Stay tuned.
So Burning Man 2023 has been rained out. You know, come to think of it, that kinda reminds me of something.
I got something to say. I want to know how come the fascist pigs have been seeding the clouds. Right. Last hour and a half, airplanes going over twice with all the smoke coming out of them seeding the clouds. And I want to know, why that stuff is going down, man. And why doesn't the media report that stuff to the people, man? I'm telling you what happened. The planes come over for an hour and a half and they seed all the clouds. People of unknown origin were seeding the clouds over the I don't know what they hope to prove, man.
What's going on here?
Most of y'all have probably heard that Burning Man was declared a national emergency, but there's some pretty crazy stuff coming out. So it was announced earlier that Burning Man was declared a national emergency because it was flooded. And so they sent in FEMA, which already seemed kind of like a weird reason to send in FEMA and keep anyone from leaving the festival. 73,000 people they're keeping locked in there for flooding. Now there's some new terrifying information coming out that there's a virus on the loose in the festival and that people are getting really sick with boils, vomiting, hemorrhaging. To me, this makes way more sense than flooding in terms of what their response was to the situation. This is a text from one of the festival goers, and he said, "Yo, just figured you should hear from me first. Daryl is crazy sick with something that has him coughing up really coagulated blood. Medic showed up wearing a full suit. No idea where he is now. I would stay inside your camper." And he goes on to say that an outside agency is putting up a fence. This is a different festival goer that said, "You're never gonna fucking believe it. They're saying it's Ebola." Freaking Ebola at Burning Man, guys. If this is true, that is insane. I just hope that everyone...
Burning Man. To all of the people in Burning Man, I am sorry that you fell into their trap. Yeah, I don't know if all of you spiritual people understand, but they want to get rid of all of you. They is the bad guys, the evil ones, and they have an Agenda 2030 where they want to get rid of half the population of the planet by the year 2030. Unfortunately, that equals 100% of spiritual people. People who don't go with the narrative. So everybody at Burning Man, the 73,000 people there, I'm sorry that you fell victim to the evil one's plan. But, you know, you should have kind of expected something. Because they don't want you around. And you just decided to go to Burning Man and say, hey, I'm going to walk right into the bad guy's trap, and now they're flooding you, and now they have Ebola over there. So good luck. My prayers are with you, and...
How did that process unfold? Can you explain that?
So, yes, we would get text messages, we would get phone calls at 7 p.m. at night, 6 p.m. at night, saying, hey, we have a trip out tomorrow. Can you make the trip? I say yes. And later on in the night, I get a report time for the following morning. You get a 5 a.m. report time, 4 a.m. It's always in the dark because they don't want us picking up these kids in the day where people can see us. And I would get for example, hey, 4 a.m. And I would not find out where I was going until the following day when I would show up to the charter bus. We would get phones given to us, backpacks given to us. And until we got to the shelter, to the Walmart shelters that you broke on your show, we get files saying, hey, you're going to head off to Orlando, Florida. You're going to head off to Los Angeles. You're going to head off to Nashville, Tennessee. And you're dropping off 6 kids. And in those files, you get a hard copy of an ID of the sponsor who's waiting for you at the airport in baggage claim. So the handoff is always in baggage claim at these airports. So the hard copy of the ID is the person you want to wait for, and they're supposed to hand you this physical ID to you in person, and you're not supposed to release the kid until you take a picture of the physical ID with the paper copy ID together on the government phone.
And these children, these are illegal immigrant children that are being kept there. Are the parents anywhere around at all?
No parents. No, these are unaccompanied minors. So all the kids you see in the Walmart shelters, no parents are here. No aunts and uncles are with them. They showed up to the border by themselves. So, and it's
with
crazy
coyotes,
because
with coyotes bringing them across. Right?
with coyotes bringing them across. So the hard copy of the ID is the person you want to wait for, and they're supposed to hand you this physical ID to you in person, and you're not supposed to release the kid until you take a picture of the physical ID with the paper copy ID together on the government phone. So the hard copy of the ID is the person you want to wait for, and they're supposed to hand you this physical ID with the paper copy ID together on the government phone.
And
Yeah, correct. Because sometimes I would run into kids who tell me, a coyote told me exactly how to get to your shelter, is what they would tell me. They told me how many steps to walk north of here, where to turn, and they told me to, if I run into any Border Patrol agent, to say that I'm a minor, that I'm underage, that I'm gonna run into a building, a shelter, a Walmart type of shelter that's gonna have food for me, that's gonna have laundry services for me. And it would get so suspicious because the kids were being told by the coyotes exactly the way an NGO runs a Walmart shelter.
My ancestor's grave. I can't visit my grave.
Whose grave?
My ancestors, my fifth great grandfather.
Where is he
buried right there.
Is he?
Yes, it's a whole burial ground back there. Are you aware of it?
No.
Yeah, well, they don't tell you that because they're evil. And we went and I fixed it up. I actually we worked to took the weeds out. They built a whole disc grave over an entire graveyard that the United States government told these people in this county to protect the Indian graveyard. They did not. They built a game over top of our graves. We went out there and the one grave that's actually visible, fixed it up, decorated it, and I was going back there to pay my respects to my fifth great grandfather. But these evil people were going to call the police. They know that the grave's there. They know what I'm doing.
Who's the evil people?
Whoever called you. Because whoever called you knew very well what I was doing.
Well, they said you were hauling ass down here.
I wasn't hauling ass. You know, that's ridiculous. Who's going to haul ass to go to a grave? That doesn't make sense. And they know that the graves are back there. They know exactly what I'm doing. The grave didn't fix itself.
What was the screaming that I heard?
Oh, I was doing a live.
You were doing a live?
Yeah.
A live video?
Yeah.
Apparently there's some graves back there.
Sometimes we do ceremonies, but yeah, I was doing a live.
Okay.
But it's a graveyard. That entire area is an Indian burial ground. They built a disc golf game on top of it. You got people selling drugs out here and leaving drugs all over the place, but you're going to come for me? Really? Like, I see people coming over here with bags and, like, going in the park and acting like they're on drugs. I seen it all the time.
Okay.
Okay, this is a major drug. They come back here and they do, like, exchanges back in this park.
No doubt, but I parked in front of you. I heard screaming and you drove around me before I could get to you.
You heard screaming when I was doing my live. That was before I ever got into my car. But I can scream. I can scream when I'm talking to people. I was just shouting in happiness. But, and I just drove straight. I didn't go zigzagging around you. I just went straight ahead. And I have a right to visit my ancestor. He's buried here. I have a right to visit my people.
Yes, you do. You have every right to visit your people.
Well, then I don't understand why I have. This is crazy. Y'all, look at this. They got like 4 police cars for me visiting my ancestors and the burial ground. What is going on in this county? Did they think that this is the way we treat people and we treat the dead and we don't let people honor their own ancestors? What is that about? Like, this is crazy. This is what they do. I got 4 officers. I got sheriffs. I got everything. For me driving into the park, they know that graveyard did not fix itself. It didn't get the decorations on it. I have lanterns on it. This is where I have to get. I haul baggage. Okay, it's a graveyard. I don't think so, because this is my ancestors' land. I don't think, no, you can't do that. It's not private. It's not private property. This is my patented land, and I've quit claimed it. So it does matter. It does matter. You can't enforce that where I can drive to get my thing. Oh, you cannot enforce that.
Drive back there again. I can show you what I can enforce.
You're just trying to bully me. Listen to you.
I'm trying to bully you. I'm telling you can't drive back
Look at this bullying me.
Hey, I'm Lieutenant Lewis.
And you're awful. You're awful. It's a burial ground.
You can't drive back there.
You can't keep me from going to my burial ground.
You can go. You can't drive.
I don't have a problem with you going back there. You cannot
What
drive
difference
your
does it
vehicle.
make if I drive
That's
over
not
there?
an area where you drive in.
Yes, they do. They have paths there where they drive up there. How do you think they get stuff done?
You're talking about people that work for the county.
No, I'm talking about people that sell drugs out here that you don't care about. You don't care about. Oh, well, you're doing a horrible job because I've seen more people sell drugs here than I've seen in my entire life.
Are you from Georgia or are you from here?
Actually, not from here. I'm not from Georgia. I live in Georgia.
Why do you have Georgia's hat?
Because I live in Georgia.
Can I just ask you, you live in Georgia? Okay. You said no. Ma'am, do you have ID?
I'm not. You know what? You're not gonna do this to me. You're not. I don't have to show you.
You're not free. You're right. You're not free. You're under investigative detention right now.
For what?
Because we're trying to find out what's going on with you. That's very
I'm
simple.
going to an Indian burial ground. My family's.
Okay,
You see what they do?
You can't drive back there. You need to ID yourself.
I'm not speaking to you. I'm not speaking to you. You're being rude. I got another police car. I'm going to see my burial ground. Do you know where the grave is? Do you know where the grave is?
I don't go in the woods.
Okay, well there's
I don't need to go in the woods.
that's a whole graveyard there.
Wait, I can walk back there, but I wouldn't drive my car back there.
And my ancestors' family's back there.
But you have
And
every
if
right
you
to
look in
visit
the back
every
of my
right.
car, you see that I have mulch bags and I have stuff because that grave has been decorated and I maintain it. That's what I do. And I have an injury, so I can't really, do like I used to do because I actually have injured my leg. I have a leg on, right here.
I understand all that.
So I don't want to. I got like 1, 2, 3.
You can't drive back there. That's the only problem. That's the only problem we have.
Whatever. I won't drive back there. I'll fly back there. Whatever. But I'm going back there anytime I want to go back there.
Nobody tried to stop you from going back there.
And you know what? I'm going to own this anyway. This is not going to belong to the county. This cannot stay. You cannot keep stealing land here and acting like it's okay. And then they're going to send the cops out to bully me because they think that they can do that. But guess what? What they have done for centuries is over. They can't continue to lie and steal land and get corrupt judges. They can't continue this bull.
Can we make
so that's
a compromise
fine.
today?
What's the compromise?
Your ID, you are free to go.
No, I'm not going to do that. Because I think that there's no reason for me to show you my ID. Why do I have to do that? I don't have to show you my ID. I've done nothing wrong.
You're acting erratically.
I'm not acting erratically. I'm upset because you're telling me I can't see my grave.
No one here said
all I did was go see the grave. What did I do wrong? I'm sitting here in the parking lot. You didn't see anything.
You drove on county property. It's not designated for driving.
I drove to see my ancestors' grave. I maintain. Well, I'm not there. I'm not there now. So what are you talking about?
Are you saying that you can drive on the baseball diamond?
Well, people do.
Sure they do. When they're cutting grass and they're digging the dirt and stuff.
Yeah, they do. And that's what I'm doing. I'm actually cutting grass and maintaining the dirt.
I understand it's your ancestors' property.
Yes, I'm
but
doing
it's still
that.
county property. And if you want to go back there
and they don't maintain it. And they don't maintain it.
They're cutting the grass right now.
They don't maintain back there. It was overgrown like a jungle.
It is well beyond a marked path.
No, I'm talking about my ancestors' grave. I'm telling you, okay? I have pictures. It was never maintained until we started maintaining it.
I got you. The county does not maintain private cemeteries.
They shouldn't have a private cemetery with a disc golf game over top of it either, should they? It shouldn't be part of a park. In fact, the U.S. government said in the deed that they are not there to protect the graveyard, the Indian graveyard, but they do not.
Is it a marked graveyard?
It's a mark with what? It has its tombstone.
You should get a lawyer and
it has a
talk
tombstone.
to the county about that.
I'm already suing the county.
That's all you have to do.
It's already in a lawsuit. It's an active lawsuit.
That's fine.
It's been over 2 years of a lawsuit.
How's it going?
Still going.
Court?
Still going. Supreme Court.
Okay. So it's been appealed?
It's been appealed. We're going to Supreme Court.
So there was a decision made?
Yes.
What was the decision?
The decision was to agree with the lesser court. And they did that after.
What was the lesser court?
I filed a motion for default judgment against the county because they did not appear, and they should have been a default judgment should have been made because they didn't show up. But instead they just dismissed it because the courts are corrupt. So that's fine. We'll take it to the Supreme Court. That's the next step. But it is a graveyard, and it is my family, and all we do is maintain it.
All we're asking you is not drive back there.
I won't drive back there.
If you need somebody to get you back there or something like that, just call the lady that runs the parks and talk to her, or get permission to drive back there.
Okay.
Nikita, what's Nikita's name?
I know.
You know. Okay. Yeah, if you talk to her and ask her if you have permission to drive back there, and she calls us and lets us know you can drive back there, that's fine.
But see, no one should call the police for somebody that they know.
Well, I don't know who they know.
They know. They know that graveyard.
How do they know? You just told me you're from Georgia. They don't know.
No, I come down here and I fixed it up. It didn't magically. Yes.
You expect us to know a lot of stuff that we don't know.
But they do know.
Well, I've never seen you before.
Because I come back here all the time.
I have never seen you.
In order for me to maintain this, I have to come back and check on it and, remulch it and do what I have to do.
And let's not drive back there. That's all we're asking you not to do. Don't drive on property that's not paved or it's not marked where you can drive it.
That's fine for now.
That is all that we've asked.
All righty. But do you need 6 police officers to do that? Like, come on.
When you're
no, I didn't. See, this is very racist for you to act like I'm erratic. I mean, I don't think anybody. I'm not.
What are you, black, yellow, green, white?
I didn't do anything erratic. There's nothing erratic about someone driving on the grass, going in and coming out. I haven't even been here. Minutes.
Because a climate scientist whistleblower says prestigious scientific journals only publish papers that fit the narrative. Anything besides doom and gloom, man-made global warming is left unpublished. This is because these studies are often bought and paid for by government grants and charitable foundations, both with political and financial interests in the global warming industry. And it is an industry. But do we really need solar panels, windmills, and electric cars if we can control the weather with laser beams?
Instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
So instead of controlling the narrative, we can just control the weather. Theoretical physicist Dr. Michio Kaku joins me now. So, Doctor, has the U.S. government been experimenting with weather control?
Believe it or not, the answer is yes. People don't realize that, well, as Mark Twain said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, the government takes exception to that. During the Vietnam War, there was something called Operation Popeye, a top-secret program to seed the clouds over Vietnam during the monsoon season to wash the Viet Cong out.
Ooh.
And they actually tried that.
With laser beams?
Well, no, with silver iodide crystals to condense the water vapor to cause nuclei that would then cause raindrops, and that would then accelerate the monsoon season. Okay?
So are they doing this today, the U.S. government?
Well, it turns out that 8 states in the United States practice some form of weather modification. For example, seeding the clouds with silver iodide. And the Chinese, famously at the Olympics in the year 2008, seeded the clouds in order to have it rain outside of the Olympics. So, did it work? Apparently, yeah.
And so is it just China and the United States trying to control the weather?
No, many countries have some kind of weather modification program because the economy, trade, war, everything is dependent upon the weather, if you think about it, right?
So can we make things less hot? Because it was a hot summer.
Well, believe it or not, in Dubai, they actually have a laser system based on drones that go into the clouds and fire a laser beam, which, quote, electrifies the air. And these ions then form nuclei for raindrops.
Oh.
And it accelerates rain in the Middle East. They get 4 inches of rain per year in Dubai.
All right.
4 inches.
So I can just shoot a laser in the sky and not have to buy a Tesla?
Well, in the United States now, we're also experimenting with terawatt lasers. These are trillion-watt lasers. They're pulsed. They produce more energy in a split second than all the nuclear power plants on the planet Earth. However, it's only for a brief second of time. But in that brief second of time, you ionize and electrify the weather so that you get raindrops.
All right. After COVID, this sounds a little risky, but I'm sure Joe Biden has it perfectly under control. Thank you, Doctor.
Hey,
you want to see some crazy shit? Check this out.
A lot of this craziness that's going on here in the most recent. Not just the two sons, though. Bigger than that. Bigger things happening. Lots more being exposed. And what is happening inside of this reality that we're dealing with today. So these files, these documents that we're going to pull up here, they're talking about literally what's going to be happening on multiple different levels. Some of them we already knew and other ones we didn't. So we're going to move head first into it, letting you know exclusively what the heck is going on here. And this was released by the freaking USSR reportedly, allegedly. And so these files have been leaked, and they're talking about exactly what the US Gov is going to be doing and what else is going on. And then it kind of goes deeper than that. It goes into different parts of human evolution and how the gods did certain things. Now, you notice I say gods because even biblically it says there will be multiple gods, but there will only be one Alpha Omega over it all. So moving forward into it, though, here it is right here in the connection of instruction of the Secretary of Central Committee of CPSU before November 2nd, 1983. It goes into what's going to happen in the XXXXI century, which translates to 21st century. Global and local astro, geophysical, meteorological, biopsychophysical, technogenic destructions at the turn of the 21st century. Like I said, I looked that up and then translated it to 21st century where we're at. Now, all that destruction that they're talking about, we're going to get down into it. Goes into the other part of the document. It says, according to the main intelligence director of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of USSR, the U.S. government has been systematically financing special projects, strategic programs for the study of geophysical, meteorological, biological, and social processes since the late 60s. Now, in order to basically get into large-scale geophysical, meteorological, environmental, and crisis conflict, which according to American scientists will occur on Earth at the beginning of the XXI century. That's actually 21st, and the other one was a little bit later. Moving further, under the guise of Star Wars, the United States and the countries of NATO created a comprehensive high-tech engineering building, and it says of ground aerospace-based focus and hidden intensification of global and local astro, geophysical, meteorological, biophysical, man-made destructions in alleged affected areas on the basis of forecasting and resonant wave amplification relevant spontaneously destructive mechanisms of nature. What are they talking about? Well, the reactions and stuff like that and meteorological destructions is what you're seeing right now, like Hurricane Ian and other things else. And so the deeper part of this, though, goes even further than what we're talking about here. Obviously, the Star Wars, they said, is going to be guised, Space Force and everything else. And supposedly they have these buildings already pretty much geolocated in the atmosphere that we don't even know about, that we can't even see, that pretty much is hovering over society in the weight of these man-made destructions, according to these documents. So like I said, who wrote the documents, where did the documents come from? Basically, I seen them somewhere else. Somebody dropped the files on Twitter. I picked it up, and I'm looking at it now with you. We're just analyzing this here. So let's move into it deeper. They get deeper, really deep here in these documents. It says 350 million years ago, the so-called first etheric man was created as follows. The text of Anarebi Almanix. It was created in the indestructible sacred land of Agarte, which is where the inner earth. It says inside the earth, the cradle of humanity by lunar ancestors, meaning the gods who lived in other planet called Icarus, which perished about 1.5 million years ago. The moon at the time was a satellite of Icarus, which orbited the sun at a distance of 2.3 AU. And so they're saying that the climate was so stable inside of the earth that nothing was able to affect it. And we're talking the inner earth here. They're saying in these document files that some of the first created people of earth were inside of the earth. And so with that being said, the question remains here. Does that mean the Garden of Eden was somewhere inside of the earth? And then these recent discoveries are now coming out saying scientists have just discovered a sixth ocean, and it's not on the Earth's surface. It's basically inside of the Earth, next to where the so-called Earth's core, which we know the core could be another sun. They also get deeper into another sun as well, coming out of the sun, like literally, like, so they say a sun exploded. Let's just go into it right now. A sun exploded supposedly years ago in these documented files here. And it says the final product of the explosion of the sun was stable metals of transuranic group. At the site of the explosion of the fading sun, a giant cloud of incandescent matter was formed, in the center of which was a young sun. So basically they're saying it was two suns, just like we've been talking about the whole time. One of them just kaboom, and then here comes another little small sun that was literally right there. Kind of symbolic to what we've been seeing, because actually let me pull this video file up one more time, because we've been looking at two suns, but not just two suns. We've been seeing those little small looking suns as well. See, yeah, like that in that photo just there I just showed. So those two little suns there, as you can see, what are they? That's the question. That's the bigger question here. We want to get deeper down into these files, which talk a little bit deeper and get down.
Now you want to see some crazy shit? Check this out.
Into even biblical stuff. So let's look deeper into it. It goes in to say, thus it turns out the gods who created man were formed from Icarus. During this period, an isolated world was formed inside the earth with a stable climate not subject to external aggressive environment and natural disasters, with fresh water sources, just like inside the earth is today. An acceptable temperature for the creation of living life forms. The first people, if they could be called people at all, had 52-meter etheric electric shell. So they were called basically a race of angels, and they were asexual and reproduced by division. And then they go on to talk about how the other people were starting to be created after that. It says, which formed from the ethereal protein yolk mass compacted into a physical body. Similarly, the etheric race of angels, as a result of long evolution, condensed into physical body. Each root race included 7 sub-races. For the last 3 sub-races, the next root race arose. And yeah, remember everybody, I'm just reading this to you right now. This is just documents that came out, so I'm just sitting here reading it. You can take whatever you believe, and we're going to move forward. The etheric people of the first race ceased to exist as a result of evolutionary events. Hyperboreans, 110 million years ago. The evolutionary path of the angels race was 240 million years. So how in the heck do they know all this crap anyway? Every secret society or every government agent or every secret, agent, whatever, like all these different CIA operatives, and they pass it down throughout history. That's the only way stuff like this could be found, if they always retain knowledge. They even talk about the huge flood that happened. So, like I said, is the Garden of Eden in the center of Earth, if that's where the first things or beings were created? Let's move forward here. Okay, so moving forward past that, we just got into that part. Now we move further into this part. The atmosphere on Earth was more ethereal and vaporous. Many metals that eventually became solid were liquid and gaseous. The mind of the first Lemurians, or however you say it, was latent, with strong physical life. Speech and self-awareness were absent. Man was a fighting beast, the focus of life force in the area of the adrenal glands, and developed mainly resistant to shock. 18 million years ago, in the era of Lemurians, an event of extreme importance occurred on Earth. With humanitarian mission, the gods with Venus, great teachers, children of flame, for the purpose of human development. Their appearance was associated with separation of the sexes and onset definite connection of immersion of people in solid matter, as well as the instilling in people the properties of individualism, since previously people had a group of consciousness and collective mind. Like ants, the great teachers disguised themselves as animal-like creatures, became leaders and priests in order to lead the younger humanity to the heights of spiritual perfection. This is some crazy stuff here. We're gonna move forward here, and they say The late Lemurians erected megalithic stone structures that have survived to this day in Peru. In England, Stonehenge and other parts of the world also learned the basics of construction from the great teachers. The great teachers, and they erected Stonehenge. Yeah, are they that great? And so this is some of the Peru structures that they're talking about here. So lots of crazy stuff being said. Now, we know from the documented files, all the stuff about the U.S. government and everything else that's going on is exactly what's going on. Now, do we know 100% everything about the previous life period they're talking about is going on? No, we don't know that's going on. But however, they've put this in their files. They've came out and released it. They started talking. They also put something else in here that was really important that I wanted to pull out. And it went into something about some scripture in Ezekiel or something like that. So I'm going to try to pull that up here right now as well. So it goes in to say, about the flood. Yeah, they start talking about the flood in these USSR documents. So it says the guys who knew about the onset of the flood saved the part of humanity, which they chose the number of 144 people to populate the earth with them after warming. 100,000 years BC, Anu, Enki, and the other soldier warriors marry earthly women, that's fallen angels, develop a race of demigods on earth to control people. The same events are described in Genesis chapter 6:2, when people began to multiply on earth. Daughters were born with them. The sons of God saw the daughters of men. They were beautiful, took them to themselves as wives, whichever the ones before. Okay, it says, before the second Armageddon, the gods also left a part of the chosen humanity in the amount of 14,400 people in order to continue the human race after the second flood, which occurred 386,000 years BC before the same reasons as the first flood. So they pretty much got down into a lot of crazy stuff here and a lot of stuff that's happening in reality. Appreciate the super chat. So we just dropped some basically information from USSR documents pretty much saying what's going to happen and basically what they are telling us has happened. We don't know for sure, but it's a lot of different things that research can tell you, and we're just looking deeper down into it. I did a video about the two suns yesterday. I did a little mini documentary. I'll put that video right here. If you click the little chat button and you're live, you'll see it right there, but after the video it'll be below. So we're putting out information here to look deeper into the reality of it and figure out what's going on here. Lots of crazy stuff. Euphrates River drying up, which is said biblically to be some fallen angels to be under the Euphrates River to slaughter the population. Lots of crazy stuff is going on here. We'll be getting down deeper into all of it. Please tell people JWTV is putting out the information. We're here. You got to spread the word. When you spread the word, more people come here and we get more information to those people, because we're not just talking about this type of information. We're talking about helpful information for what's happening in the sky and the atmosphere and the stuff all around us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have more reports. Don't forget to check out that video on the left-hand side because it's highly dire and important.
In this video, I'm about to break down human cloning and a step-by-step process on how it's done. Now, if I want to clone you, I'm going to get a female that got the same blood type as you. Why do I need a female with the same blood type as you? Simple. It's because a female is the only human capable of having a baby. After I get a female with the same blood type as you, I get a glass pipe as thin as one strand of hair. Now, why do I use a glass pipe? The same reason you should drink your water out of glass, because you can't taint the germs, aka the genes. Remember, germs mean genes. Now, why do I get a glass pipe as thin as one strand of hair? Simple, because it's thin enough to penetrate those germs, aka those genes. Now, once they get those two blood types in the glass pipe thin as one strand of hair, they fuse those two blood types with a process called ultramagnetic shock, which forms a fetus. See, back in the day, when they did human cloning, they used to take up to the full lifespan of the entity that they were cloning. But now in this day and age, we got technology that can clone anybody up to 6 months. So if they got a 40-year-old man, it'll take 6 months to clone him. See, now they have a process called mind uploading. Say they wanted to clone me, and the last thing on my mind before they clone me was a bag of Doritos. In 6 months, once they get my clone and wake it up,
the bag of Doritos will be on that clone's mind. They used to have to physically take your blood. Well, now they use robots. And when you think of a robot, you think of a metallic substance. But nowadays with technology, that's not the case. They have biological entities. They look like mosquitoes. They come, bite you, get your blood, get your DNA, and they take it back to the cloning base. They got an underground bunker cloning base in New Mexico called Dulce Cloning Facility. If you think cloning is not real, you better second guess and go do your homework on human cloning. Your favorite rapper might be a clone. Put that on your brain.
Hey, I had an interesting conversation with a cop yesterday. Very nonchalant, very out of the blue. I was standing there getting me a Red Bull, and he was drinking his coffee. And I was asking him, I said, what do you think is getting ready to happen in society and to this country? You know what he told me? Blew my mind. He said, everything is getting ready to go to hell. Most of the people in his department are part of the secret brotherhood. He says that he can't talk to them about anything. But he is a believer in Christ, and yes, he is a white guy. And I do salute him because he believes in the total truth of the Bible. He said that when this stuff happens, he is going to get his family prepared. He said the police department is not going to be anywhere around to help anybody when martial law starts because they're going to be focused on their families. You got to understand, the police department, these law officers, these policemen, they're going to be food on the table too. So he basically told me to keep my head on a swivel and stay woke.
I believe there's a demonic spirit inside these black men that want to hurt black women. No matter what good you say about black women, they do not like them. They got an excuse for everything. And you see how there's a group of men that get together to hate black women, saying they would attack a black woman if she get in his face, that they ain't gonna walk away. If she wanna run up on a man, I'ma hit her. It sounds very sassy and sissy. Me as a man, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna turn my cheek and go the other way. Because if you give it no energy, it doesn't have no power. So if a woman is mad at you, you can't walk away. You gotta strike first. So a big old strong man hitting a woman that he's stronger than, that makes him a man, right? Black women have so much power, y'all men can't stand for her to look good. You can't stand for her to have confidence. You can't stand for her to look good. The devil got these black men targeting black women. And you know black women carry that gene now can make any color. And black women are the main ones that giving birth to all these smart, intelligent people. But I think the black men that want to hurt black women, they the bad seed. Just like Cain and Abel. Good seed, one bad seed. And the ones that want to hurt women, those are the bad seed. Those are the Cains you got to watch out for. Because when you turn your back, they will strike. And there's some good men just like Abel out here. And there's a bunch of Abels out here. They'll love a woman, show compassion, understand a woman, listen to a woman, be romantic. The devil don't like that. And the devil using the weak ones. You know what I'm saying? The one that ain't got no sense. The one that went through a lot of traumatic experiences. The one that are going through insecurities and depression. They're going through a lot. So it's easy to put the blame on somebody. And he making them blame the black woman. That's all he's doing. I mean, look at how they act. Just look at like little demons on a mission to target black women.